Hello everybody and welcome back to another exciting episode of Mug and Play. I am Nick, joined by nothing but the loneliness of the sea! And QB's over there looking concerned as hell because I suddenly just started talking to myself. Stephanie's at work right now and it's super late at night. At the time of recording this, it's 3:15 in the morning, in the AM. And you may be wondering, hey, more Raft? Okay. And you may be noticing, hey, the Raft looks a little different from the last time. And I'll tell you why. Because as you may have noticed, if you were one of the few people that actually watched the last Raft video, from a technical standpoint, it had some difficulties, some technical difficulties, if you will. It was just a myriad of things that went wrong. So we're just gonna accept it. It happened, and we're gonna rebuild the raft. Or I shouldn't say we're gonna rebuild the raft. We're gonna work on the raft, and we're gonna, basically, here's what happened with those videos. I tweaked my settings for recording, and I didn't take into account that, hey, maybe my computer can't handle that. And get the fuck out of here, Shark. I'm trying to tell a story. I know this won't hurt you, but that's just to keep you moving. Just keep you on guard. Basically, tried to record things at a higher frame rate than my computer was capable of, I just pooped out a barrel, capable of handling. And, lesson learned. But on the bright side, I can now reuse all the jokes that I lost in the other episodes. I'm also gonna get myself a drinky drink. Are all these ready? Yes, they are. I got no room for shit. Get that shit out of here. Poop out a barrel. There we go. Alright, our thirst has been quenched. Let's go down here to the watering hole, which is going to be here until I plug up this hole. Alright, we got nothing but salty salt water on us. So, basically, the last time I was working on the game. Basically, what we're gonna do over here is we got our own private fishing hole. I know that we are literally surrounded by the ocean and we can fish at any of it, but you know what? It's nice to have a local source. And up top or further back here, we're going to build ourselves a designer fucking restaurant, and it's gonna be great. You know what we're gonna serve? Shark! And fish and potatoes and beets. Maybe a little bit of everything, but it's going to be great. It's going to be all locally sourced, shade grown, because I got a tree up there. Like I said, locally sourced. We have our local source right here. Isn't it great? Can I jump in the water? I don't know. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I had a fatigue meter. I've never been in the water before. So anyway, what else? But yeah. But like I said, the best part, I can reuse the jokes from last time that didn't get a chance to get used. There we go. Patch up that hole. Patch that shit up. So anyway, gather around, kiddies. I wanted to talk to you guys. I don't really talk about other YouTubers on the channel. I think it's not bad, but a little strange. Kind of like how it's a little strange that I can build these floating planks from 10 feet away. But you know what? I'm gonna suspend my disbelief because it's like, if I can build a raft like this, starting off from a 2x2 square, then I can suspend my disbelief on building some floaty planks. Where do you think you're? Oh, I didn't want that. I wanted the barrel. Ugh. Yes, and I got a plank too. Hot damn. No. What is this madness? Whatever. One of my personal favorite YouTubers updated his channel last night with a bit of a heartfelt message. In case you saw it, it was our good buddy Markiplier. He posted about how he was feeling lost creatively, and it was it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't hard to watch, but I felt for him because, you know, I've you know, struggled. That took no effort at all. I I was anyway. Oh, cool! I have a net. There, cool. Thumbs up. Anyway, he posted about how he was feeling a little down and felt like he was struggling creatively, and that he didn't have the connection with his fans that he used to have, because, you know, he used to, back when he was, you know, in the thousands and tens of thousands, it was still a big fan base, but small enough that he could you know, talk to them regularly in terms of like reading and responding to comments, and just, you know, interacting with the fan base on a more regular basis. Yeah, so he was talking about he was struggling. He wasn't feeling okay because he felt like he didn't have that connection, and, you know, I felt for him. There, just go. Leave me. They all these barrels leave me. And I felt kind of bad. I felt like I should, you know, send him an email, and I wasn't sure about it. I probably still will. Just, you know, just as a, hey, listen, you know, you got this. We all struggle with, you know, the thing I say a lot when people are having trouble with something is I say everybody's got something. Everybody's got something that they struggle with. Like right now, my character in this game struggling with an unquenchable thirst, and fuck, that's full. We gotta build a box workshop. Gotta get the planks to get the box to put things away to make more things. This is if you give a mouse a cookie shit. I'm not saying you should give a mouse a cookie shit. I don't know what a cookie shit is, but you know what? Anyway, I digress. He felt like he, you know, wasn't getting the interaction that he feels it wasn't giving the interaction he feels his fans deserve, which is understandable when you're pushing 17 million people, which is crazy huge. I wish I had 1% of that, just like I wish I didn't have a fucking shark. I'm trying to make a point. Fuck. I almost fell in. Holy shit. That was close. But still, you ruined my... And there I fell in anyway. Gee whizzers. But it's understandable that you can't, you know, it's almost like, you know, when you can't, and he said he felt like if you can't, you know, be there for everybody, and if you can't, you know, if you can't do that, then you're not doing good by anybody, which is not the case. But the thing I take issue with isn't even a thing that he said, but it was a thing I noticed in the comment section. I follow, and speaking of other YouTubers, this is a point that another YouTuber that I follow and am becoming good buddies with made a response video as well. His name is Coda. He has a channel called Call Me Coda. You should check it out. He gave me a shout out the other day, so I feel like it's only fair that I give him one as well. He makes good quality videos. His editing is on point, and it's good. It's good humor. It's funny. I like it. And so one of the things he said is you can't, or one of the things he touched on. I'm probably gonna horribly, you know, paraphrase like I do. I'm bad at paraphrasing. I'm also bad at selecting things. And that is basically Mark said that he's noticed that he's changed over the years, which, you know, is to be expected with anything that you do for 5 years. You're gonna change over the course of that time. But the thing is, a lot of people in the comment section are like, no, you haven't changed. You're still great. You're always great. It's like, listen, just because someone says they've... One sec. What, you think we're friends now? Just because I showed you how the toilet flushes? Sorry, I thought Stephanie was home, but it was actually just the cat playing with, you know, a piece of toilet paper. And because the cat is fascinated with the bathroom, and I don't know why, so I showed him how the toilet flushes, and suddenly he thinks we're buddies now, you know? Anyway, where was I? Mark said that his change was that his driving force early on was that he was always focused on just the top of the hill, and when you have 17 million subscribers, it's easy to feel like the top of the hill has been achieved, so to speak. And a lot of people would agree with that. You know, it's pretty high up on the hill if it's not already at the top. And so when you're at the top of the hill, you know, you suddenly feel like you don't have that driving force anymore, which is a completely understandable thing. You know, it's kind of like the argument for immortality. It's like if you know that you're gonna live forever, why bother? If tomorrow is guaranteed, then you'll always just say, well, I'll just get to that tomorrow. So I'll always have tomorrow, which is why some people say that they would not want to live forever, and I can understand that. I kind of do. It's not that I want to live forever. I just want to live way beyond my life expectancy. Like I want to live to be like 800 or 900 years old, like Methuselah age, but not like, you know, I don't want to look like a dried out grasshopper for the last 8/9 of it. You know, excuse me. You know, I don't want that to be my primary mode of, you know, communication. People like, Mr. Foy, how are you doing today? Don't mind him. He's 811 years old. No, just like, yeah. Anyway, I digress. I'm rambling. This is going to be really rambly because it's way past my bedtime, and here I am recording anyway, because I like you guys, and I like talking to you. I need to close up that hole because I want this to be a second floor. I want this to be a second floor cafe type thing. I want us to have we're gonna have locally sourced fish. It's gonna be farm to table. Like I said, the other thing we're gonna have on the menu, fucking shark, especially if you try to destroy shit like that. So Mark talked about how he changed, but the thing that Coda touched on in his video, which I'll put a link to, is that people were like, no, Mark, you haven't changed, you're still great, and it's like he didn't say, you know, that he wasn't, you know, that he was, you know, given up or that he's changed for the worse. He's just changed, just different, and it happens with time. I've changed, you know, since in the last 5 years for sure, and I've changed in the last 6 months since doing the channel. You know, when I first started out, I couldn't imagine myself being able to do solo videos like this. You know, if you want to see a good example of how I've changed, go back and look at the one Mario Maker episode I did. I did one episode of Mario Maker, and well, let me rephrase that. I recorded 5 episodes of Mario Maker by myself because we needed something that day and just didn't. We just didn't have anything, and Stephanie had school or work or for some reason or another. She wasn't available to record, and I'm like, well, we need something. And so I decided to record on my own, and I was nervous. It was, you know, it wasn't a train wreck, but it was certainly not my best work, to say the least. And it was not my favorite episode. In fact, I don't even think after I posted it, I didn't even watch it. You know, sometimes I'll watch an episode just to like look at it and kind of study it and be like, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I learn from this episode? But I think that episode I was too embarrassed to even watch it because I knew it was terrible because I was nervous and I was shy and you know, it was a bad time. It was not bad, but it was difficult. It was difficult to get through, and it was difficult to watch. And I don't know about you guys. I'm sure if you've been watching for that long and you watched it and it was probably like, oh, it wasn't that bad. It was an episode, and you know, you shouldn't see change as a bad thing. Change can either be good or it can be good and it can be bad, but or change can be, you know, it can be a completely lateral movement. You know what? That second floor, that's not going to be our restaurant. That's going to be something. We'll figure it out. Change is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a completely lateral movement. You know, for example, my sleep schedule has changed over the course of the last 4 months. Because I want to say, you know, back in like the fall, I was in bed every night by, you know, between 12 and 1 a.m. Between midnight and 1 a.m. Anything after that, like if it was 2 a.m., I would just be like, oh goodness, I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna regret this in the morning. You know, oh Jesus, I fell. And I'm thirsty. And I'm hungry. Oh God. Hold on just a second while I take care of this. If 2 a.m. were to roll around, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to sleep so late. I probably won't get up till 9:30. Now I go to bed between 3 and 4 a.m. and that's just fine. You know, I don't see any problem with that. And if I were to wake up at 9:30 now, oh, you motherfucker. Don't you fucking think about... Oh, you shitlord. Oh, you shitlord. I was in the middle of a story. You ruined my precious Raft. Oh, think you're real fucking funny, don't you, Shark? Fuck you. You're on the menu. Hope you realize that, motherfucker. Damn. But and I've changed in other ways under the better, like my hair. I didn't think, you know, in a million years that I would change the color of my hair. Anytime my friends would suggest it to me, I'm like, no, it's really not my thing. You know, I don't know if my job would allow it. And then after a while, I'm just like, you know what? What's it gonna hurt? Worst case, my job says no. My job says, hey, you can't do that. You gotta switch it back. In which case, I just switch it back. I realized that the risk versus reward was not a big deal. You know, I've changed in 6 months, so I can understand how Markiplier would feel like he's changed over 5 years. But you can't tell someone, no, you haven't changed. You're fine. You're still great, and you know all that. You know. Yes. Mark is still churning out great videos, and you know they're funny and they're engaging and they're enjoyable. You know, that's not the issue. The issue is he felt like he's, you know, run out of steam in terms of something that's pushing him, and so I can understand that feeling to a degree. I don't know what it's like to have, you know, 17 million people know who you are. Especially, I mean, my channel's, you know, hovering around 80 people, and I still think that's great. Basically, what I'm trying to say in a really, really roundabout way is, you know, don't fear change. You know, whether it's good or bad, you know, I feel like change should be, you know, embraced one way or another. And if it's I'm not saying, you know, if something changes for the worse, you should embrace that bad change and be like, well, I guess my life is a shithole now. It's like, no, you embrace the fact that it has changed and understand the fact that you're in control of how it can either either change for the better one way or another, or how you can adapt to the change. But folks change, and that's, there's no denying that. Gosh, I thought it was going to be a lot easier to talk while doing this. I figured, I'll just go on autopilot and just ramble, but this is considerably more difficult than I anticipated. But you know what? That's okay. I wasn't expecting that either, but you know what? I'm adapting to that change. I think I'm gonna save and wrap this up because I'm having a hard time collecting my thoughts as well as trying to do this at the same time. But to summarize this whole long, rambly video, first thing, fuck sharks. They interrupt stories. They bite your shit. They don't realize they're on the menu. They are. They're so in the menu. Shark. Don't think I haven't eaten shark before. I have. I had it when I was a kid. You know what? It was delicious. It was so good. I ate the shit out of a shark. I mean, it was cut up and arranged on a plate, but, you get the idea. Shark. Don't think you're immune. Just because you got bigger teethers than me. The other thing, don't be afraid of change. Accept responsibility for things. I'm not saying accept blame for things, if you're not at fault. I'm saying accept responsibility. You get rear-ended at a red light, that's not your fault, but it is now your responsibility. So that's what I mean. That's the difference between blame and responsibility. So take responsibility for things, even change, especially change, because you're in control of your life. More than you think. And if you want to tell me that I'm right, wrong, stupid, insightful, tell me in the comments. We'll have a discussion. And who knows, maybe I'll change my position on it. I'll change, and I'll have learned from it, and you'll have helped me. Probably going to fire off a message to good old Markiplier. He'll probably never see it or read it or see this video, but you know what? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Steph and I will become the next Markiplier, MugAndPlay kind of sounds like Markiplier, and there's an M and a P. I don't fucking know. I lost my train of thought again. That's probably why I shouldn't do these videos super late at night. I'll put I don't know if you can see the clock over there. It's 3:49 a.m. Been recording for a good 33 minutes now. This video is obviously going to be shorter and truncated, and I'll cut out all the ums and uhs and oh god, I'm dying of thirst bits, as well as that spot where I got up to show the cat how the toilet works. That's what I do at my house. That's how I spend my 30s. You're going to realize at some point, in your life that you'll look back and realize, oh, maybe I have changed, whether it's for the better or the worse. That's your call, and act accordingly. Obviously, always strive to better yourself, and change for the better, change for the positive. I know I have things in my life that I'd like to change. I want to be in better shape. I want to I want the channel to grow. I want this to be all I do. For example, like I had the choice of I had my own little choose your adventure game tonight. I could have, I had three options before me. I could have left work at the time I was supposed to leave and gone to a party, or option 2, I could have, stayed late at work and then gone to the party, or I could have done either one of those, but instead of going to the party, come home and record. And instead what I did was I stayed late at work, and I went and got Taco Bell, and then I came here and I recorded. And because that's all I want to do. That's the change that I want in my life. I want the change that I want in my life is to do this all the time, every day. I would love nothing more than for the change in my life to be I do this all day. That I just, edit and record and have fun, and because I want to make more videos, because I love doing it. And I'll come right and say, I love you guys. I think you're great. I think you're fantastic. Yeah, you. and you, you're new here. Welcome, and I think you're great too. You know, you're fantastic. You look great today. Did you get a haircut? As you can see, I'm still struggling with this, you know, recording by myself thing. It's tough. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not used to not having someone, you know, right next to me to bounce the conversation off, to have the conversation with. I'm not used to it. TLDR of this video, if you just fast forwarded through this whole bullshit thing, fuck sharks. We're building a restaurant. Eventually this raft will float upon land. It'll run aground, and hey, then we just have beachfront property, and we have our own seafood restaurant. Which, after being stranded at sea, what more could you want than a seafood restaurant and a raft themed restaurant on beachfront property? It's not like you'd be sick of the ocean after being stranded out in it. But I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Fuck sharks. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. If you like this video and you want to hear me ramble about shit more often, then I'll do an actual vlog where I'm not distracted by a game. I'll have my thoughts in a more concrete form versus just falling out of my head like a tipped over bowl of Jello, and I'm just trying to be like, this is a thought, this is a thought, this is a thought, this is a thought, and just watch them squish in my hands like you do with Jello. Leave a comment below if you have any thoughts at all about any and all of these rambling things. Cat, what the hell are you doing? I gotta see what the cat's getting into. He's getting into some trouble. I just know it, because... Hey, buddy. What are you doing? I think you're so great. He's pretty great. And if you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you already have, then A, thank you. And B, share this video with a friend, why don't you? But thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on MugAndPlay. Bye-bye!